Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Medfield's Digital Learning Day, the home version. So before I get too far into this, I have to say this is the first time I've ever done this. So I just want to make sure a couple things. Number one, can everyone hear me, or do I need to put on a microphone? If you can go into the chat window and just type in that you can hear me okay, that would be really helpful. So I have that up on another computer. So if I'm looking to my left, that's why I'm doing that. So I'm just going to pause for a second, make sure you can hear me. So again, I'm just starting out right now. I want to make sure you can hear me. So if someone can go into the chat window and let me know for sure, that would be really helpful. All right. So I think... Okay, sound is good. Thank you. I'm trying to follow this on a live stream, but it's not working, but it's popping up on my phone, so I'm going to try and stay focused. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get started. So let me tell you a couple things. Number one, this is my very first Google Hangout on air, at least being the lead moderator. So bear with me as we have any technical issues. Those of you who know me well and have my text, if things are awry, if I'm supposed to be sharing something and I'm not, please just shoot me a quick text. I'll get things straightened out. So what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about YouTube. And the original point of my session was to really get people to focus on the editing aspects of YouTube and not just kind of the basics. That being said, I think there's a lot of people out there that don't really understand the basics of YouTube. So I am going to start really just kind of with the bare bones. And I did post my slides. So the couple things basic about YouTube is, number one, in order to post onto YouTube, you need to have a YouTube channel. You have a YouTube channel as long as you have a Google account, so that's pretty easy to do. And we're going to go into mine in a minute. So unfortunately, this won't be as hands-on for you as you would have liked, but I do think you'll still get something out of this by watching me. So the goal today really is we're going to try and do three different things. Number one, I'm going to show you how you can upload photos into YouTube and turn it into a cool slideshow. Number two, we're going to upload one video onto YouTube and do some quick editing. And then, if time permits, we're going to load two videos onto YouTube and show you how you can merge them together and create kind of some neat types of videos. So without further ado, why don't we talk about YouTube in general? So the first thing is, I guess I could share my slideshow on here. The first thing is, when you post a video on YouTube, there's three options. You have private, you have public, and you have unlisted. So when you do public, that's open to everyone. And those are the ones that you typically see on YouTube with all the talk show hosts, the people with cats, and so on and so forth. And that's what a lot of people do so they can get hits and likes and all that stuff. For most of us who work in education, or if you have kids, the way you want to tag your videos generally is unlisted. What that means is that only if someone sends you the link to the video can you actually see it or view it. So that's what I do with any student work. And then there's another option called private, which is a great setting. The problem is with private is you actually have to list every single person that has access to the video. So if you were to create a video of your kids and you wanted only mom and dad to see it, you could put their email addresses and see it. If they then forward that link to grandma and grandpa, they won't be able to see it unless you go back and add grandma and grandpa's email address in. So generally, I load almost everything up as unlisted and then send the link out to people. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and hopefully this is going to work okay. So let's see, Medfield on 16 YouTube. Hang on one second. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's not the one. Okay, give me 1 second. That's not the one. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen. I think you're just seeing the main page here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into YouTube. So youtube.com will get me there. And again, for those of you that have never uploaded to YouTube, actually, first of all, can you see my screen okay? Do you see a main YouTube page? I just want to make sure I screen shared correctly. I know we had some problems on the last session. I'm just going to wait a second to see something pop up in the window. So give me a yes if you can see my kind of YouTube page with Jimmy Kimmel and all that other good stuff on it. Okay, again, sorry, first time doing this. Everything looks great. Okay, so this is my YouTube page. It's nothing pretty. These videos up here are things that are recommended to me based on, obviously, things I've watched or whatever they think is important. But on the left-hand side here, you'll notice my channel. So when I click on that, this is where my videos ultimately go. If you've never gone to your channel, you might see a button right now that says Create My Channel. They used to have it used to be very difficult. Now you can actually just click Create, and then you can do all these silly things. You can put in your picture, you can put in a background, and you can kind of dictate what this looks like. I have not spent a lot of time with that. Obviously, I'm not trying to monetize it. I'm not trying to create something very exciting other than just a place to host my work. So what I'm going to do is I want to start by uploading pictures. So in the upper right corner, there's an upload button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It will take me to this screen. So down here it says Photo Slideshow Create. And this is where this gets a little different using, I'm on a Chromebook. So first of all, I don't think you can do most of this stuff on an iPad. So if you're on a Chromebook, in a second, when I get to upload photos, I am going to actually be able to get into my Google Drive. As best I can tell, the photos that are listed here are somehow connected to your Google Plus profile or things that are public. So if you store all your photos in Google Drive and you're on a desktop, you might not see all of these. At least that's been my experience. But you will see some public photos. So I'm going to go over here to upload photos, and I can create an album. When I say select photos from my computer, I can now, because I'm on a Chromebook, go into Google Drive, which is a nice feature. So I'm going to go into Drive, go into DLD, and I have some pictures I took. Oops. Hold on. Oh, here we go. So I have a bunch of pictures I took out in the snow about 20 minutes ago. They're nothing special. And in the lower right-hand corner here, I'm just going to select those and click on Open. So what this is going to do, this is going to just load them right up to YouTube. And most people don't think of YouTube as a place to have photos or to create kind of a digital slideshow. But it's a really simple way to do it. I've seen people put them in a Google slide. So here are all my photos, and you can see I can add more photos. And again, these haven't really been edited. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. And then lo and behold, you'll see my screen start to play. It's created this video for me. I apologize for the graininess. I was upstairs taking a picture through a screen. So just like that, I've created a slideshow. Okay, it's a matter of inserting the pictures. Now, down here I have simple controls. I can change how long I want to keep the slides on for, 3 seconds. Do I want to do the pan and zoom? Do I want no pan and zoom? And what do I want between each picture? Do I want it to horizontal blinds, crossfade? And you'll see it'll change all that pretty right on the fly. So what else is nice about this is you can now add in free music. Because let's be honest, the slideshow is kind of boring without music behind it. So YouTube has thousands of copyright-free music that you can add on here. And you can sort it down here by top tracks, alternative, whatever it is that you might like to attach to it. So for this particular one, since it's a snow day, I might pick, oh gosh, I don't know, let's pick pop. And I'm just going to click on one of these. I'm not sure if you'll hear the sound, but it'll play it for you. So I'm not sure if you guys were able to hear that sound playing. If you can, just let me know. I'm gonna move forward anyway. So what I can do is I can just attach that on here by saying I want this, and then I can upload it. So now listen. So within a matter of a minute, I just now took any images I had, I attached music to it, and I created this pretty cool slideshow. So again, for students who want to create slideshows, it's really easy. So the last step in this process, and this is kind of the very basics, this is kind of step one, kind of the bare bones. This is a quick, easy way to do it. So this is kind of like your beginner module, if we're going to differentiate the learning today. Okay, so I can then go ahead and upload this. I can also go to the advanced editor, which will give me more options, but we're going to see that more with the videos in the next segment. So I'm going to go ahead and click on upload, and what this is going to do is this is going to actually create a video for me. Now, you'll notice in the top here, it says processing, it's at 0%. I would hope, depending on my Wi-Fi status, this won't take more than a few seconds, but I could be wrong. But there's stuff you want to put on here. You can tag your video. You can notice it was created with the slideshow creator. I can put tags. Same way you would tag anything. And this is what I was referring to before about the how you want your videos to be listed. So mine is, I think I have a default somewhere that everything's unlisted. So again, public means you can search on the web by using one of my tags and find it. Unlisted is how I pretty much list everything. And if you have a playlist created in YouTube, and a playlist is just a way to organize all your videos. So I might have a playlist called Kids, even though this is my school one. These are all my different playlists. I can then go ahead and pop this into a particular playlist. I'm going to create one right now and call it Snow Day. Again, make that playlist unlisted. And oops. And I'm going to click on Done. So you'll notice it's still processing. It's at 31%, which is fine. I don't think it normally takes that long. But while this is happening, I can now go elsewhere. You'll notice I can go to Video Manager. I can add more videos. So probably the most difficult thing you're going to learn today is how to get to the Video Manager. How do you actually find your videos? I don't know why YouTube makes this so difficult, but they do. So typically when you go to YouTube, and I'm going to click on the left-hand corner here. Some of the changes stay on this page. Did I save this? Oh, maybe I have to wait for this to be done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab, I guess, and wait for that to load. I don't remember if that's the case, but so when you go to YouTube to find your videos, it's really kind of not easy. So you need to go to My Channel. And then once you're in My Channel, you're going to see this same description as before, but you'll notice you don't see my videos now, although you do see my beautiful face there doing this live broadcast. You then have to click up here to Video Manager in the upper top here. Once you do that, this now takes you into all your videos, and you should see my playlist. I mean, what did I just make? The slideshow. It should probably say in progress or editing, preparing upload. So this is where all your videos live. So again, you kind of have to go into YouTube, go to my channel, go to Video Manager, and then find it. You can find playlists there also as well. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to now show you how to upload a video to YouTube. And again, this may be basic for a lot of people, but maybe not for others. And then we're going to go ahead and do some more hardcore editing with that, if I may. Let me just flip back to this tab. 61% done. So while that's happening, I'm going to go back to my main screen here and stop sharing my screen. So let me find that. Am I not sharing my screen anymore? Hold on a second. Okay, so I think we're back. You should be able to see me. I just can't. I can't find the screen that's seeing me. Can everyone see me okay? Sorry, first time. I think I'm booted out of my own session. Isn't that amazing? So I'm assuming you can see me. So let me just go back into my, sorry, you can all see my email now because I need to get back in. I can't think of a better way. Seem to have lost my event page. Maybe if I go back in now. Think of a better way. Seem to have lost my event page. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm almost back. Hold on, just stuff's loading up. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you how to get your videos onto YouTube. Again, this may be very basic for a lot of you. Hang on one second. I'm back. Okay, I'm almost back. Hold on, just stuff's loading up. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you how to get your videos onto YouTube. Again, this may be very basic for a lot of you. Sorry, guys. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, well, I started another session and you can see both. Okay, that's not good. All right, let me close out. I'm going to show you how to get your videos on YouTube. Again, this may be very basic for a lot of you. Sorry, guys. Be back in 1 second. If you're going to fail, make sure you fail in front of a lot of people, okay? Oh, I figured out the problem. Sorry, guys. I got it. Okay. Wow, that was a fun 5 minutes of video, wasn't it? Okay, so I've got my phone. I'm going to upload video. I started another session and you can see both. Okay, that's not good. Okay, I have the other one running still. Let me just close that down. Make sure you fail in front of a lot of people, okay? Sorry. I think we're there. Oh, I figured out the problem. Sorry, guys. I got it. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. Wow, that was a fun 5 minutes of video, wasn't it? Okay. So sorry, my old one's still playing. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Okay, that's not good. Okay, I have the other one running still. Let me just close that down. Aha. Problem solved. Sorry. Okay, so you've got your phone. You've taken videos. We all know how to do that, right? Those were all my texts blowing up saying that I'm an idiot and don't know how to do a Google Hangout, which is entirely true. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go, I've taken some videos before. I'm going into my photos. So here's a video I've taken. I just want to make sure everyone knows how to load video onto YouTube, because it's a really easy way. This is a video of my son. I asked him about a snow day. So on the bottom here, there is an out button. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's right over here. Okay, so once you click on that, you have an option that says YouTube. This is the quickest and easiest way to load something onto YouTube. Okay, so I click on that red button, and I get all this information, about what do I want to call it, how do I want to upload it, what's my setting on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that very quickly. I know, again, it's exciting TV. We're going to do that high def. We're going to do that, set it as unlisted. So again, you can decide your listing parameters. And we're going to go ahead and publish that. Okay, so this will take it right up to YouTube, which is pretty nice. And this happens usually within 30 seconds or so. This one has about 5 seconds remaining. So I'm going to go ahead. Okay, and I just got a message on here that said it was published. So now when I go back to YouTube, I can actually go in there and play around with this. Finally, we'll get to the good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to try sharing my screen again without basically ruining this whole session. So I'm going to click on Screen Share. I'm going to click over here. I'm going to share. And all right, so we're in business. So when I go back to YouTube, first of all, you'll notice my processing is done on my other video. So I go to my channel. And again, I have to go to Video Manager. So at this point, you should see 2 videos that are kind of new. One is the slideshow that I created before, which of course I can name something differently. And I can still edit anything in that. So this is now on YouTube. If I want you to see it, I just copy this link. Okay, but now more importantly, I've got this other video I just loaded. And notice how quickly, I took it from my phone to getting up to YouTube pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. Okay, so what I think a lot of people don't realize about YouTube, they spend so much time in comments, is all this great stuff that's down here. You can do a lot with YouTube by clicking on these buttons. So for example, if you want to add audio, you can just click right here. If you want to enhance, let's say it's shaky, you can click right here. If you want to change some of the information and settings. So I'll just go through these really quickly. When I click on information and settings, I can change the title. I can put in a description. I can put a custom thumbnail. So a lot of times it automatically puts the first picture on there that's in your video, but you may want to put a picture of a flower or a title of your class. You can make what's called a custom thumbnail. So down here is where you're going to change also your settings if you want to add it to a playlist or unlisted. And over here in advanced settings is where if you're posting something publicly, which I think there's a lot of merit to doing that in certain instances, you probably want to avoid the trolls, and by that meaning you don't want people who are going to leave all these stupid comments or spam. So you can disable comments right here by unchecking this, or you might allow comments to be moderated, which is another right here. You show only approved ones. So just something to think about, that you do have that option to turn off comments when you do post something publicly. I don't think there's anything worse than publishing student work and then having some morons from other places find it and leave comments that are just inappropriate. So that's something to think about. There is an option, I forget where it is, to blur faces. I know I'll stumble upon it in a second. So let's click on enhancements. So under enhancements now, you can take your video and you can slow it down. You can make it faster. You can make it slower by clicking on slow motion or time lapse. So for example, if you recorded a chemistry video of some reaction occurring and it happened in 3 seconds, you could slow it down by clicking 4x here, and it's going to take your video. Mine was around 20 seconds. It made it 1:31, just like that. Notice I can use trim. I can cut out part of the video. I can make it go faster. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so you can do things like that. So under blurring effects, I knew I would find this randomly. This is where you blur student faces. I know schools are very different on this, and teacher by teacher. I worked with my kids' class a few weeks ago, and she was very concerned about publishing student work, even when it's unlisted. I mean, their faces. So you can actually blur faces very easily by going to this section. Again, we're under enhancements and under blurring effects. So the problem with blurring faces, and I have to be honest here, I've never done it before, but what I'm told is that it's all or nothing. So it's kind of like home run derby. It's either a home run or an out. There's no in between. So when you blur faces, it's going to blur your face, every single kid's face. You can't just pick the one student's face who has signed the form saying that they don't want themselves published on the internet. So I think you just click apply. Oops. And then you decide whether to save it or not. So I guess we'll find out what this looks like. Yeah, there you go. So apparently this saved my my fast speed. You can see it blurred the face pretty well. So that was pretty interesting. I'm going to revert this back to original, hopefully. Hey, buddy. How did you feel today? And so that's how you would blur faces. Under audio, just like before, we can add in tracks to our just like we did with our screen. We can add audio to overlay the video. Hey, buddy. How did you feel today? So again, I might pick something here. Obviously, for an interview, it's not obviously a great idea. So we're not going to have any audio. Okay. Have you been having fun playing in the snow? A couple other neat tricks you can do are what are called annotations. What an annotation is a way to put a thought bubble, a speech bubble, something in a video. So what we can do. Hey, buddy. How did you feel today when you found out school was canceled? So I asked him how he felt now that school was canceled. I can add an annotation and say, all right, I'm going to add a speech bubble here and say, I can say I was so sad that school was canceled. And I can put this in a thought bubble, maybe 16. Play around with the colors a little bit, give it a background. And I can decide how long this is going to appear in my video. So I can go ahead and do that. And you'll notice down on the bottom, sorry for all the screen moving back and forth, you'll see down here it says this is what the annotation is. So I click on Apply Changes now. And I go back here. Hey, buddy. How did you feel today when you found out school was canceled? Okay. Have you been having fun playing in the snow? So clearly my thought bubble was not so great. I forgot to make it bigger. So I can drag this. Say, oh, I was so sad school was canceled. And again, this isn't the best video because it's taken, obviously, vertically. So now. Today when you found out school was canceled. Okay. Have you been having fun playing in the snow? Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do on a snow day? So really easily you can add speech bubbles. There's a bunch of different annotations here. I'm not quite sure why would you one over another. You can put in a title. So in a minute we're going to actually create a title slide for this. You can do a spotlight and a label. They kind of do the same thing. They just appear in different places on the screen. So in the interest of time, we'll play with it in a little bit. But again, you can control how long they stay on the screen. The thing I like also is you can create a link. So you can link. Unfortunately, you can't link to a website, at least not that I've been able to do, but you can link to other videos. So at some point, you can start stringing videos together. So maybe I will, let's do this a little bit later, actually.
On a snow day, probably in this weather, like probably snowball fights and stuff.
So we talked about snowball fights. So I'm going to add another annotation here, call it a note, and say snowball fights. And then I can put a background on here. And I'm going to put link. So really quickly, I'm going to go to my other tab and just do a quick search for snowball fights. I'm afraid what I'm going to find when I just search. There we go. And then I can put that in here, that link address, and I can just say open that link in a new window. So now, when I run this, this is at the 20-second mark. So I'm going to rewind this. I'm going to apply my changes, and let's watch what happens.
Snowball fights and stuff.
I did it again. So again, I forgot to make this bigger. So at this point, if I wanted to, if I click on this, when the video is live, which it's not now, I'm in the editing mode, I will be able to click onto it. It'll open another video. All right, so those are some changes you can do. One other thing you can do, which I've been playing a lot with lately, and it's kind of a mixed blessing, is subtitles and really closed captioning. It is amazing when you are finished doing it, but it takes a lot of time. And if there's anyone out there that has any good suggestions of how to do it, that would be great. So, so on this same video, I'm going to click on subtitles and CC. So when this is working correctly, you can actually get it to pick up the language and actually try and do it for you. So I can do English, set language, and I'm not sure why sometimes it seems to do it, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll actually detect it. So if I say this is English, so my options are to upload a file, transcribe, or create new subtitles. So if I transcribe, I can click on this, and then as it's playing, I can type what's going on. So, hey buddy, how did you feel today when you found out school was canceled? I don't have the best typing skills. Okay, so let's just I clicked on set timings. It's going to try and align that to any timing that it had. And this doesn't come out great. I find that you have to do a lot of tweaking still on the back end. Let's see what it looks like. Hey buddy, how did you feel today when you found out school was canceled? Perfect, huh?
Okay.
Have you been having fun playing in the snow?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still setting the timing. Sorry. It says up here English setting timings. So you'll see what it did is it took what I wrote and it tried to align it with the times. And this is fully editable. I can change this. So here we go. Hey buddy, how did you feel today when you found out school was canceled? Okay. So when I'm editing this, I might say, you know what? I want hey buddy to be first, and I want to find out about school being canceled second. So I might change this to be only from 1.2 to, let's say, 2.6. And then I'm going to copy this out, and I'm going to add a gap here and say, this is going to go from second 2.6, let's call it 2.8, until 9.6. I'm just playing around here. I'm going to paste that in there. I'm going to take this as well. It sounded like to me like it was one sentence. And you can see the changes at the bottom, and I'm going to get rid of this. So let's try this again from the beginning. Hey buddy, how did you feel today when you found out school was canceled?
Okay.
So I noticed I forgot to get rid of this, obviously. Let's try it again. Hey buddy, how did you feel today when you found out school was canceled?
Okay.
So clearly that's too much time in there. So I could then go ahead and caption all of this. Like I said, I don't know why, but sometimes when I do this, it actually automatically gets most of the text down for you. But you have to speak really clearly for it to work. So that's one way to caption. You can publish this. This is totally editable. The other way you can do it is through transcribe and set timings. For students that obviously struggle with language or that reading in addition to hearing works for them, I think the captioning is fantastic. We've been working on digital portfolios in our district where we're having, oh my God, 1,500 students create their own portfolios. So all the videos that I've created for them have that subtitling in them. I may show those to you in a little bit. And the teachers' feedback has been phenomenal. They said they like it. It's a big pain for sure, but I think it's worth it in the long run. So anyway, that's how you do subtitles. You can export them and do all kinds of good stuff with that. So when I'm done, I can go ahead and exit this. So lastly, let's watch what we've done. And again, this isn't, I don't think we've created anything amazing. So if I go to the video URL here, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to just play it in a new window to make it easy. So let's see how we're doing. Hey, buddy. How did you feel today when you found out school was canceled?
Okay.
Have you been having fun playing in the snow?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to do on a snow day?
On a snow day, probably in this weather, like probably play snowball fights and stuff.
Oops. Okay, so.
Hey, buddy.
Oh,
how did you feel today when you found out school was canceled?
Snowball fights.
So let me just pause to see if this works. So when I click on this now, you'll notice a new tab takes me to this video. So one of the cool things, one of the cool things you can do with this, and we've done this a little bit, is create kind of this linking video idea where you can link one video to a next. And I know Greg Kulowich has talked about this a lot, about creating like a choose your own adventure. You could have SAT questions where you put up there, if you think this is the answer, click here, and it shows them how to solve it a certain way. If you think to solve it this way, again, you can do a million things with linked videos. Let me just show you real quick one more what I mean by that, because we've done a little bit of that with some of the digital portfolios. Just give me 1 second. For whatever reason, my presentation is not visible to me. Talk amongst yourselves. I have lost the ability, actually, I'm going to look at the chat window for a second. See if I can multitask. So I guess you can see my screen. So this is a video that we've put together for our digital portfolio students. So not only do you have funky music in it, you can see these are just those annotations we put in before. So a student comes here as their main page to kind of figure out where they're going to go for their portfolio. So our process is a kind of a long process to go through it, but if they want to set up their Google site, they click there. If they're ready for step 2, they can create subject pages. So once they've done this, notice this pops them out to a new video. And then once that happens,
the purpose of this video is to show you how to add the different subject area.
You'll see the captioning, but what I did at the end, which I'm not sure how great it works, because I find this frustrating, is sometimes you get to an end of
This is completed, and it looks similar to the way mine looks. You're ready to move on to the...
So you'll notice there's 2 annotations here. Click here to replay the video. So if you click here, this just takes you right back to the start. Or now I can go to step 3. So instead of going back to this main menu here, I just put in an annotation that says take me to step 3. So when I click here, bada bing, bada boom.
The next step in our digital portfolio process is to add in the various grade levels for your English classes.
So you can see, I mean, this is obviously for directions. I think a lot of us who are tech integrators do a lot of screencasts and YouTube for the purpose of educating students. So it's a good purpose for that, but I think teachers can really get on this, and students for linking one video to another when you have kind of a difference of opinions, or just kind of different ways you can do projects now instead of just having everything typed out. So let's go to the advanced version of this. So we have one video we've loaded. I'm going to do two things at once here for a second. I have another video I recorded of son number 2. While we're talking, I'm going to upload his video to YouTube. And I'm going to look really quickly in the chat window, see if there's anything I missed in the last few minutes. Unlisted, publish. So I saw Gwen had asked if this is how we did the English department videos. The answer is yes. And I see Diane Papafatopoulos is asking, is there any way you can do edits on videos that exist on YouTube that aren't your own? That is a really good question. My assumption is that because if it's on YouTube and you can find it, it must be public. I'm pretty sure you can then edit it. So I guess we can look really quickly. Because I'm sure people do that all the time.
Hey, I'm Andrew. Hey.
So let's see. That is a good question. I have to think about that. One other little trick. This took me a long time to find out. Just because you put closed captioning on a video doesn't mean it always works for people. You might see it on your own. What you have to do, I'm glad I thought of this actually, is when you go into a video, you need to put in the tag a certain code that allows the closed captioning to automatically play, even if people don't have it turned on. So if you learn nothing else from today, this is probably the one thing that I was really most pleased about. I figured this out. So when you go to the information part, in your tag, if you put the following tag, please be here. Right here, I'll make my screen bigger. It says YT colon CC equals on. So that's YouTube colon closed caption equals on. That means when people click on that video, it automatically turns closed captioning on. So that's a really important tip. I don't know where I dug that out of, but somewhere in the YouTube information. But that's really important to remember. All right, so let's get back to business. Let me just see if there's any other questions really quickly. Okay, so Debbie's saying you cannot open other people's video to edit anymore. You used to be able to. You can't do that. Okay, thank you. Thank you for crowdsourcing that. Okay, so let's go back into YouTube here. And this time we're going to go into the video manager. I mean the creator studio, which is really what this was supposed to be about. So from your main area, let's go back here because this is another thing that's kind of hard to find. So I'm in my main YouTube account, and I want to edit video. So I can go into my channel, is one way to do it. And then for any of your videos, you can actually edit by clicking on it and going to Creator Studio, or you can click on your face up here, click on Creator Studio. And when we do this, now we start to get into putting videos together. So down here under Create, and like I said, they don't make this easy. You click on Video Editor. If your head hasn't exploded yet, then it probably will. And by the way, before I forget, there is a session starting at 2:30. Neely Bartley from Hopkinton is running a session on this Super U fun curriculum, so just keep that in mind. That's geared towards K-8 students. We're going to keep the party going. K-8 teachers. So this is my Creator Studio. So I'm going to start by doing a new project. And you'll notice what it does is it starts by having a blank area. And for those of you that use iMovie, maybe it's kind of that similar idea. You've got your video here, you've got your audio here. But I can take any videos I want and start to do things with them. So I can take my videos, drag them down here, merge them together. But let's start simple. Let's start by putting a title. So I can click up here. I have different options. I have Creative Commons videos I can insert. I have photos I can add to my video. I have music, which we've seen before, transitions, and now I've got banners. So I'm going to start with a title. So I'm just going to take this and drag it down here, and I'm going to call this Snow Day PD. And if I hit enter, I can do hashtag awesome. I can control the background color. I can start mucking around with all these different settings. I can say I want it small, medium, large, depending how much text I have in here. Font, it's limited, but it's okay. So you've got my different, I can change the color from white to whatever I want. So I don't like that red. I'm going to make it orange for whatever reason. Okay, so that is my title. Notice it defaults to 2 seconds. I can move this out to 10 seconds. I can make it 5 seconds. I can do whatever I want. So I'm going to make it 3 seconds. Click on close. Okay, so far so good. Now I've got a title. Now I don't know, do I want to do a silly transition before I get into my video? Some people like that. I would caution about it. Doing too many of them, like the old PowerPoint days where everyone transitioned everything. I'll just pick the barn door because I can. I do think those transitions cut into the original video, and you'll see it starts to show you what it looks like now. So I'm going to make that a little shorter. All right, so far so good. I can change direction, all this kind of stuff. Okay, now let's get into my videos. So when I click on the video button, I've got every single YouTube video that I have loaded up here. So I've got stuff back years ago I can add. But let's just take the video of Noah from before, plop them in here.
Hey, buddy.
So now my video, oops, I've already started to create my video. So too bad.
Hey, buddy. How did you feel today when you found out school was canceled?
So too bad for me, I recorded this kind of vertically. Again, I did it last minute. So obviously the title is not great. But I have options now in this video. So I might click on here. I can trim this by clicking on the scissors and split it. I can keep it as is. When I click on it, I have options in here. I can fix stuff. I can go to audio and make it louder.
Hey, buddy.
The caution with making it louder, I found, and I've recorded kids that are really quiet, it doesn't boost it to the point where if you can't hear them, it just makes it a little bit better. I don't think it's significant, but know that that exists. You can turn volume down. You can turn volume up, particularly if you're going to put music underneath it, which we'll do in a second.
Hey, buddy.
I can add text, say enable text, and I'm going to say...
Hey, buddy. How did you feel today when you found out school was canceled?
Okay.
Have you been having fun playing in the snow?
Yeah.
And I can see that it's not working the way I want because of the way the video is. I can make this now small, and I can do this.
How did you feel today when you found out school? Hey, buddy. How did you feel today?
Now, one of the obvious questions is, so keep in mind, I did not take the video that I would use before that I closed captioned. The one fault, and I found this out the hard way, is that if you make changes with closed captioning on your original video and then bring it into this Creator Studio, it really only brings in your original video. It doesn't keep your captioning. So those of you that do some more detailed video editing, you need to do the video editing in here first, and then after put in your annotations and your closed captioning. If you do it the other way around, they actually don't show in here. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. So it's really annoying. If that didn't make sense, I'll explain it again later. Okay, so I can put a banner in here. I can change the color. I can do all kinds of cool stuff, italic, font, alignment. I can make it more opaque, all this kind of stuff. For those of you that play with filters, you can change the way it looks. I'm not really into that. I can make it auto bright. I can make it pan and zoom. I think that's the...
Hey, buddy. How did you feel today when you found out school was canceled?
Anyway.
Okay.
So notice that all those options exist, which is very cool. I might say, you know what, I've had too much of him, so I am going to shorten this down. I can drag from the end here and just say I want that much of the video.
Hey, buddy. How did...
So pretty cool, you can do a lot of that stuff. But again, what's nice now... Oh, that's really horrible. Hang on a second, I can't have that. All right, still not great. You get the idea.
Hey, buddy. How did you feel today when you found out school was...
Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to put another video in. So I'm going to take kid number 2, and I'm going to drag his video in. Oops, that's the first one, sorry.
Hey Ethan, what's your favorite thing to do on a...
So I probably want to transition there. So before I edit all the video options, I can go back to my transition. I could add another title in here, which I might do.
How did you feel today when you found out?
And I'm going to drag it right here. I'm going to enter... whatever. Again, I can change the background color. I can do all this cool stuff. So then when I get to his actual video, again, I have same options. Do I want to make it louder? Do I want to put text underneath it? Do I want to boost the audio? So on and so forth.
Ethan, what's your favorite thing?
So last thing you can do, and again, I'm rushing through this quick because I want to be done by 2:30 because I want to be respectful of your time, is now music's a little different here. Here you can actually control how long your music is. Before with the slideshow, you kind of just had to play it and that was it. So like before, I can pick my genre, and you can go through all these. These are all free to use videos, so you can pick country and folk, easy listening, gospel, all that good stuff. We're of course going to go with hip hop because I'm a hip hop guy. Not really, I was joking. So let's see. Nope. 2 Guns N' Roses. Roses-ish. All right, that's nice and snowy. So I can now take this, click on the plus, and what it's going to do, it's going to drop it underneath here.
Hey buddy, how did you feel today when you found out school was canceled?
Okay.
Have you been having fun?
So you'll notice, just like that, it's going to play over what they have. But I can actually click on the music here. I can shorten this here. Oops, that's not right. So let's listen.
Hey buddy, how did you feel today when you found out school was canceled?
Okay.
Have you been having fun playing in the snow?
So, I mean, that's basically the extent of it. The one thing with the music is you can't put music in different places. I can lay another track here, but I can't lay it, for example, in this 4-second interlude, at least not that I know of. So if I were to take another song, I can add it. It's just going to attach it here. I can't move it down. Now we're talking. So going back to what I said before, let's say this was a video that I wanted to close caption. I would have to save all this and then close caption it. So what I'm going to do right now really quickly, I know it's junk, kind of the video's all over the place. I just wanted to give you an option to see the different types of things you can do. I'm going to go ahead and click on Create Video. This takes usually 3 to 5 minutes. Once you created it, it's going to give it a new name, and you'll get this message, we're processing the video. And again, depending on the time of day will dictate how long it takes. So you can keep clicking on Refresh to see what's what. So I'm going to look at some questions in the music video, in the questions. Let's see. So the question was, can you upload your own music in Creator Studio? That is a really good question. I don't see why not. I think you might have to upload it as a video, though. I don't think you can actually upload an MP3 file or a music file into YouTube as is. You'd probably have to have it recording over a blank video. I don't know if you can add it into. So that's what I would do. I would add it. Yeah. So that's here. So you can go here to Video Manager. That's a really good question, you guys. So we go to Create. And you go to Video Editor. I think if you were just to upload your own video, it could be blank, but with the music playing in the background, you would then be able to take it. You know what? That wouldn't work either because then it would have a video attached to it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Really good question. Clearly, I'm not an expert on this, but I did want to show you, again, some of the things I've used this for. a lot of you may have seen this the other day. We were talking about how to add to SCED. We were worried that our teachers weren't going to be able to do it. So notice, keep an eye on the different things that are in these videos. It may not seem that obvious until you realize what we just went through. So now we've got a title page. We've got music in the background. Transition.
This video is to show you how to add the Medfield DLD
Closed captioning.
for the day.
And then click here to replay this video. So while that doesn't seem like a lot, those are nice little things you can do to make your videos pop a little more. And I'll show you one more I did recently. I was in my second grader's classroom, worked on a video with his teacher, and it's so much. I don't know. It's amazing when you take the time to put this together, what you can create. So notice transitions. There's multiple videos in here.
I have to this book is I've always wanted to learn real magic. I recommend this book to.
So this is now something the kids are going to have, the teachers are going to have. It goes in her portfolio. Look at the stuff we've done. So even though video editing is really a pain, it takes a lot of time, I think the end product makes it totally worth it. So with that said, we have about 2 minutes left. I'm just looking if there are any other questions. I don't see any. So I did want to just come back real quick if I can figure out how to not screw this up again. If I go to my Hangout, I stop sharing. I'm back. Okay, so it's 2:28. Like I said, there's another session at 2:30. I just wanted to take a second to thank everyone. I don't know who's listening here, but we got so much outpour of love, and we feel bad for you, and all of this stuff over the last, 36 hours. People who felt bad for us, people who were happy to see what we had done, and people who just stepped up, presenter after presenter, who, like Craig and Mary said, yeah, we'll do something this morning, and Neely's going to present, and just so many people were selfless in trying to get digital learning day to work. We're all disappointed it didn't happen, but I think what we've done today is a testament to what educators can do when they put their minds together. There's so much talent in this area for people who can present, and teachers who are amazing, and we just need to do a better job of sharing it, and that's one of the points of Digital Learning Day is sharing. And specific to our teachers in Medfield, I think they don't think that they're really good at some of the technology, but when other people come in and they validate what we're doing and vice versa, I think it's really a nice pat on the back, and I'm just sorry we didn't get a chance for everyone to see it. And the good news is next year we're going to be holding this in March, so unless we get a March storm, we'll be in good shape. So thank you everyone for watching. If you have, go to the bathroom, grab a sip of water, go to Neely's presentation if you're an elementary teacher, and enjoy the rest of the snow day. Have a great weekend. And thanks for being patient with my first ever Hangout. I've lost my Hangout virginity. Go Medfield.